Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Alrighty, this is G. We're going to go live. I see a couple of names here looking for an astrology reading. This is what we do. Hello, Gem66 Blue. Birth time, birth date, birth city, birth state. If you want a reading, it is first come, first serve. These are speed readings. So we're going to move quick. Every now and then somebody has a question, something they want me to spend a little bit more time on, and they gift the channel. They send a gift. And so I spend more time on their chart. All right. But not everybody can do that. And that is absolutely fine. We're here to try to help out and try to give readings, especially for those who don't have the time or can't afford a big reading. Okay. So that's what we're here to do. Can anybody hear me before I do anything else? I see somebody, Victoria, you have everything together, birth digits and your quick question. Thank you. That helps me to just get to the stuff quickly. Hey, Healing Readings. How are you doing? We got power this week and there's no crazy storms. So I know we're doing much better over here. Hopefully that's the same everywhere else. I'm also trying to incorporate, I'm trying to figure out a better way to do all this. So it's a little bit more smooth. Karen. Karen is Gem Blue. That helps. Yeah. If you know you're here with a name that I might not recognize. Karen, do me a favor, though. I can't remember if you're in my new system. If you're in the old system, I might not have your numbers, your digits. So, yeah, we want to have all that ahead of time. And yeah, it's usually a first come, first serve. That's usually how we do this. We try to go in order, try to keep it orderly. Every now and then things get a little wacky, but we circle back around and try to make it all nice and neat. All right, so let's see. Let me get my phone plugged in and make sure that we're all good. We are here. We just did this on Saturday night. So the first and the third Saturday of every month, we do this very same thing. Saturdays at 7 p.m. Central Time. All right. Adjust for wherever you live. Speed readings. And then we do an astrology class. We have one this Saturday, actually, the second Saturday of every month. That's a private thing. You want in on that? Email me. Email is running across the screen there somewhere. Allastrologee at Gmail. And if you've got any questions, all right, we can clarify things there. And then we also do a private live stream. And I do actually have a couple spots left in the August live stream. And if you want in on that, it's a very small group, limited space. It's purposely really small. It's just like our Saturday night lives, but it's private. It's private. So just send me an email if you want in on those things, or if you have questions about how to get in on those. Yeah, let me know. And birth time, birth date. Let me finish this chat. And I guess some people don't know you need to have the full digits for a reading, right? Like all the things. Birth time, date, city, state. If I don't know where you're at, put it in the country. Oh, will that not let me pin that? Oh, you know what? There we go. We could put that on the screen. And then we're going to begin. I'm going to go ahead and give the thumbs up to the live stream, okay? That helps the live stream out. Even though I don't show the thumbs on the channel, the algorithm still counts the thumbs. You follow? And otherwise, YouTube just, yeah. So help the channel help you, okay? Help the channel help you. This is what we're here to do. Wow. I can't even find. Okay, there's the live stream. I don't even know how to. I guess you got to be on the vertical to do that. I mean, the horizontal. Jesus, what's going on here? Jeez Louise. All right, whatever. I don't have any patience for that shit right now. Let's get to the charts. Let's get to reading some stuff. Yeah, get your full stuff. If you want to turn, you got to have your digits in there. If your digits aren't in there, I'm going to keep scrolling. I don't have time to to ask you for your digits, right? It's on the screen. Birth time, birth date, birth city, birth state, and country if I don't recognize where the hell you're located. Okay? All right, so we are starting Gem 66 Blue. Karen, did you get a chance to throw your digits in? Because I'm not sure if you're here, and we will start. You will be number 1. Victoria, you are number 2. Victoria is all set with her digits. Number 3 would be healing readings. Anything I should prepare for in August. Okay, great. Okay, I see you healing. Thank you for the channel gift. Very awesome. Thank you so much. And yeah, I was trying to set something up ahead of time. This is really kind of like a test. We'll see. Try to create a moderator to kind of organize all these chats for me, but we'll see what happens. All right, Gem 66 Blue, it is you. Let's get your name pulled up here. Karen, what did you want me? Did you have a specific 1 or 2 words? Give me a specific. Otherwise, I tell you what comes through. Like what's just the most prominent thing, the most pressing thing that just kind of drives me crazy, won't leave me alone. So that's what I talk about. All right, let's see if we have a chart for Karen in here. Ooh, Karen, K-A-R. I don't see one for you in the new system, Karen. Okay. So, Karen Harden, did you get your new fresh stuff? There she is. Very good. Yeah. So I'm probably gonna, unless you put it under Gem Blue, but I don't even recognize that. No, I don't have it. Okay, let's get your new chart. Let's get this drawn up. And then let me know in the meantime what you want me to take a quick look at. And we're talking September 18th. Okay, 1966. And we got 9:37 p.m. Thank you so much for the time with the p.m. That helps a whole bunch. And Indy. God, let's hope I spelled that right. All right. Indiana. Yay. Are you ready? Okay. So here we have September 18th, 1966, 9:37 p.m., Indianapolis, Indiana. That's a Gemini rising at 0 degrees. Is that correct, Karen? Or Gem Blue? It's been such a minute since I've... A fellow Hoosier. So Tia, you're also a Hoosier? Well, here's a fun fact. Well, maybe not fun fact. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. I think first 5 or 6 years of my life, yeah. I was in Indiana. My mom gave birth to all my older siblings. We lived in Indiana, but everybody was born in a Chicago hospital. Okay. I guess that's where her doctor was or whatever. I think she called it laying in a birthing hospital, like it was specifically just for childbirth. Something like that. Okay. Yeah, Donna, I've got your digits. So Gem Blue, is there a response? Is this you, Gemini, at 0 degrees? Virgo Sun at 25. Look at that. A nice surprise. Woohoo. You just had Venus sitting on you if this is you. And I didn't see a particular... Oh, the eclipse. Got it. Okay. Yeah, we do have an eclipse coming up. There's a video up on the channel. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. So for you, this is in your 4th house. And, I don't know, right here, this is showing you have the Egyptian sun god Ra at 20 degrees in Leo in your 4th house. Interesting. This is a total solar eclipse in August 12th. This gives you the ability to take control of a situation, to find resolutions, solutions, answers. I call it the workaround. You have insight that enables you to get past blocks and to reach a goal. So having an eclipse here and that matching degree is insane because that gives you the soul's knowledge, the soul's experience, and the depth. Yours goes back deep. So in regards to family, home, mothering, ancestry, deep wounds possibly, mother wounds possibly, but a trauma even, and the ability for a healing because you have that matching degrees. Now, this is a South Node eclipse. This requires a release and a let go for the new that's coming in. This will be tangible material, so home and family. This would mean that there's a new beginning, a new start of some sort. Creative energy is strong, obviously. Individuality, standing out individually, standing strong within that. Creative energy literally within the home. Usually people with the Leo in this location, something, you can be creative, whether it's music, whether it's literally art, right? Food, but in the way that you nurture. You follow? In the way that your mom nurtured you, what you do for fun, laughter. It's all connected to your feelings and your emotions and your emotional security. So laughter, having a good time, entertainment, and children would all be part of this picture. Your Mars isn't very far away in terms of this eclipse. It's pretty close. It's literally 5 degrees away there. And this would speak to my appearance, my body, my freedom, my ability to be very independent and to be authentically showing up and appearing. Really colorful head comes to mind strongly right now. My head, whether it's hair, because that's the Leo and that mane, but a new beginning of some sort. So hopefully for you, your goal, whether it's your physical body and your appearance, and maybe just looking more colorful, more authentic, something where we kind of stand out, a new beginning. The fact that your Mars is part of this, it also includes a new beginning in regards of the body, but it extends, it's like there's a built-in 2-year cycle. So it's a big deal for you. And having Ra there, right there, those two little like triangle type things, having that Ra energy and all that wisdom and the knowledge of the past, this means that you're knack with children, but the deeper thing here at the 20 degrees is the child within you. There is a strong connection to the past, whether you see it as other lifetimes, whatever the hell it is, and connecting with the little you, the little me, and creativity and bravery and courage and being emotionally safe. You follow? So you're going to establish your home that way. You're going to nurture yourself in that way. If you haven't been creating, this will push you and give you the urge, an urgency, a nudge, because confidence will be really strong. Confidence will be brimming over because of Jupiter, like a big deal, right? Big deal. So I love this for you, especially if things in the home, especially if we're ready for a change. And in terms of finding out what I'm going to be releasing, it's old ways in which you identified what you had attached, like a link, a bond, a chain to what gave you emotional safety and security, and even your identity. Like, how did I identify? What was it that I did? How did I show up, uniquely? This is a new beginning. It's for all of us. It's like a rebirth. Okay. So it's directly connected to home, family, and your emotional security. Feminine energy is strong. All right, Victoria, you are next. Number 2. Boom. And Victoria, I know we have you in the system. Thank God, right? Let me double check though. Let's see if we can pull you up real quick. If not, you got all your stuff. And thank you for saying you're in my system. Do you see me moving soon? Okay, with a question. Bam. Love it. We can go fast. Are you March 21st, 1971? Yeah, we got you. All right, so we're gonna skippy-doo over to a different kind of a chart for you real quick, so we can answer that sort of material, tangible world type of energy that you're concerned about. Let me do this. And let's see what we can come up with for you. Let's do that. Let's get this on the screen. Yeah, physical move, right? Physical move. We're going to take a look at this. This is going to change things up. March 21st, 1971, Newark, New Jersey, 5:45 a.m. That's all right. All correct. All good. And let's take a peek here. New beginning in this chart. Ooh. In this chart, the eclipse is going to be going into the 6th house. That's domestic energy. That's home, like where you live, your day-to-day routines, Leo energy. But we're taking a look at the 3rd house, my neighborhood. You have Taurus energy there. Gemini energy is part of this too. That's moving the neighborhood. Okay, so Uranus is in your 4th house right now. All right, in this chart, which is actually super important. And it's going to do a retrograde. All right, so it's sitting right now there. Okay, let me see what else it's going to be aspecting for you. And then let me take a look really quick here and see the 0 degrees is going to go back to Elgo. Okay, that's at 2. Okay, another person. I've seen a lot of these people with their Cleopatra at 0 degrees in Taurus. All right. So let me double check something else here. Let me move some things around. It's a possibility. Just on this first chart alone, you've got the angling of the nodes. Let me move this to this. Let's see what this one shows. Ooh. Okay, partnerships. It shows values, shared values, deep bonds. Venus is there with Pluto, which means a change in values, a change in love, maybe a change in partnerships. Domestic energy, it's Virgo energy. So that can change who we live with, how we're living. That can change the whole setup. It can also have to do with work. And look, Gemini right there. Okay. So Sirius and Mars are here right now. And so you're here today. Let me see what you have going on in general. Your Venus is up there. Oh, your Venus is conjunct your node in this chart. Okay. Aha. All right, let me take a look. Your Venus is your great benefic. All right. Okay. All righty, Saggy at the midheaven, options and choices. And all right, well, this chart is showing that, there's going to be considering options about the future and shared values. Now, your great benefic is Venus, and she sits hidden in your 12th house. So this can make this a little bit on the tricky side. However, for you, this Venus is traveling through your 7th house. So you're going to have a nice Venus trine Venus coming up. And if you're looking to move, as in, I want to, because not everybody likes the idea, right, of suddenly making a move, unless they're in the process of looking. And this is showing with the Gemini energy going through the 4th house, options, decisions, and choices are going to have to be made. But you're also going to be taking action because Mars is going through there. So this looks like you'll be actively looking, whether that's online and physically, all of the above, because it's Gemini energy. This energy wants options, and usually you have to make a decision at the end of the day there. Let me really quickly jump forward on this chart to see when that Venus energy lines up. You'll have verse Venus touching your Uranus energy. Yeah, I don't know what your timeline is. If you feel rushed, you are going to have Venus in an opposition to Mercury. Oh, interesting. Okay, so this is showing like in the next couple of weeks, August 18th, there's going to be some information with partnerships. You'll have maybe some options on the table, especially since the Mars energy is going to start lining up with the partnerships. And it kind of brings a stress and attention, and I need to break free energy. So without going into too deep dive, because this can be personal, professional, it can be both. You follow? Uranus in the 7th says, I need some freedom. I need some independence. It can be an older person. It can be a boss, authority figure. But with the Mars going through here, there can be tendencies to just want to, to split off and go my own route. Or I just need more variety. Like I need to break out of a rut type of energy. Okay. So with all of that said, Mercury's going to be facing another retrograde, and it looks like it's going to be doing it going through your 6th and your 5th. This is going to be in this chart. It's going to be talking about home. So I'm feeling like, let me look at the nodes for you and see if you have something more substantial that's saying hell yeah or hell no. 5, 5, 5. Well, I think if anything, it might be a little bit time further away, unless you have something really wonderful that just kind of clicks into place for you. As far as, which you just might actually, because the Venus thing is going to bring some opportunities. I don't know if you're looking to go overseas or somewhere that's far away, because that's where your North Node is. And maybe it has to do with work because it's your Venus and Capricorn together. Venus and North Node together in Cappy energy. And she'll be end of August, she'll be making a strong connection, Venus trining Venus for you. So if this is a professional move, or if there's a, some sort of a commitment, some sort of a long-term commitment thing, then fine. Then it makes sense. But according to this chart, there'll be probably a stronger opportunity closer, October, November, like some bigger things happening. So I don't know what your timeline is and what you're hoping for, but if it's going to happen, there looks like you have a few irons in the fire and probably some promising news coming your way to help that. But if it's related to work and long-term goals, this looks like this can be a strong connection. Especially if it has to do with something that's kind of unseen or hidden or even overseas. Remember, you got, in this chart, you have Saggy at that midheaven, which is the long-term goal, always focus on the future, but willing to travel, seek, and search. And it's looking for that long-term connection, making a long-term commitment. And at the same time right now, like end of like November energy, in this chart, you're even going to have Jupiter, a strong exact connection to your midheaven. So work and your long-term goals are super strong. There's a lot lining up. Most people don't move during, October, November, December, but yeah, there's some opportunities for something happening as far as getting stuff in the, because yeah, I know at least where I'm at. For us, that's kind of would be kind of unheard of. It's snow and sleet and crazy ass weather, but that might be a thing for you if that's what you're looking for, because you have a lot of big things lined up in this other chart. And the one I got, or that I was just looking at, it's the material, tangible parts of our life. So you definitely got things and wheels moving and rolling and things in motion. So I would give it a green light if you've already been planning. We'll put it like that, right? I mean, unless it's some crazy sudden shit that you don't want. But there's a lot of support, okay? So I hope that helps. And we're going on to the next name. Healing Readings, it's your turn. Healing Readings says, let's do August. What should I prepare for August? And thank you for the channel gift. Thank you for the channel gift. Remember, with the channel gifts, these are all free readings. With the channel gift, we spend a little bit more time. It's a gift, so you decide what you want to send. The amount that you send depicts the amount of time I spend on your chart. We just try to be fair. And that's how we do this. So birth time, birth date, birth city, birth state. If you want a reading, if you don't have that, if it's not there, I scroll past your name. It's not fair to everybody else waiting if I got to keep fishing and looking. So I know we're just training each other. I'm training myself as we're doing this. So as much as I am speaking it to you guys, I'm reminding myself of how this has to be done. So let's get Healing Readings by Donna Marie up here. Let's get this going. And yeah, I think I have you in here under Donna Marie. Yeah. Okay, let's get that up here. Let's get that on the screen. Shazam. Thank you, Victoria, for making sure you put everything in together. That helps so much. I appreciate it. I know. I just get so focused on the astrology, and I could always definitely be doing a better job explaining how to make it more smooth. So Donna Marie, let's take a look at your August. Okay, so Donna, your August, you're having an eclipse right here at 20 degrees in your 5th house. Wow. Okay. So just so that we're clear on this eclipse stuff, especially for you guys who have stuff like right at those matching degrees, these things started showing up in your life already. All right. Doesn't mean more can't occur, right? But you're already in the change. You're already in the energy. You're already in the cycle of that change. And so for Donna, this is that 5th house energy. And in the Leo, it definitely says at creativity, but how can I have some creative fun, right? Coming up with different ways to create, but that bring about more joy, more laughter, and maybe that's simply the lesson. Try to find more things to have a good time with. Healing comes up big time because this is the healing degree. Healing the past, healing the deep traumas. It's in the 5th house of children and romance. So romantic partnerships. This can be a tricky time. Now, for everybody involved, this eclipse energy, not the eclipse by itself, but the month of August in general, this can bring past loves back to reality, back to, oh my God, this person's made contact, this person somehow, or I bumped into somebody. It can take that route. Or it could be a strong rekindling if we're already in a committed relationship with somebody, where it kind of takes us back to a really fun time where we kind of felt young and youthful and playful and like, oh yeah, I remember we used to do that. That was so fun. How come we don't do that anymore? We used to go and do this and we used to go and do that. Right. So there's kind of like a resurfacing. I keep hearing emergent. So it's deep because it's that Scorpio stuff. It's emergent, it's deep, but at the same time, it reemerges. It resurfaces. Maybe that's the word. So a resurface of the fun, the good times, and finding. I keep hearing the word forgiveness for whatever reason. Okay, I keep hearing the word forgiveness, and so your 3 degrees Gemini Mars is jumping out at this time. And so with that is saying the mind, the forgiveness, and that the forgiveness isn't for the other person. It literally is for ourselves. Yeah, this is just what's flying through strongly. Now, this is pretty interesting how this is happening right now. Your nodes are the very next things that are coming to the forefront here for me. They're telling me there is a wound, there's something with the past. It's embedded ancestrally, but it has to do with values, that which includes desires and love, even money, property for sure, because of the Cancer energy. There's something here. It's all connected to this because children and family is a big thing, but also authority figures. And you just understanding that you're going to be doing a lot of your own releasing because you want to make room for the new. You want to make room for the new because you are on this quest of learning and the wisdom quest. You're on the wisdom quest. That's what's jumping out, the wisdom quest. So with that, I think that's your Sagittarius moon now that's jumping out. Yep. It's so wild. Like they're just becoming very prominent. Your quest is the Saggy, and it's in that beautiful square, which you have with your moon. And it's the tug of war, almost energy of home and work and the quest for independence and freedom, but to always be seeking and searching, not to align with your own truth, but for truth, just plain and simple, for what is actually true. With that said, let me flip to this just really quickly. And yeah, let me flip this the other way around and go back to the other chart for you because this one's a little bit more internal, which is great, more personality, internal stuff. So this one is showing it's a real big focus on work, domestic energy, projects, tasks, organizing, neat, connecting the dots, perfection, caution with the perfection. This Venus is going to go into Libra, so she's going to be focused on relationships. Venus rules Libra and energy. So we're going to have a strong Venus. And the Venus is, of course, going to trine your Mars energy, which has Uranus close by. So new, different, fun, and excitement, right? New, different, fun, and excitement. Personal relationships and professional partnerships. A combination of the two for you. And Jupiter going through your 5th house. So you're either going to be having a huge focus on the fun and new, exciting, and different with what already exists in your life, or some way, shape, and form, you're like, I got to have super different. I got to like start something different. Health will be part of the focus because it'll be Venus going through the sixth house. It's already there right now. Okay. She's been there. But as she goes through Libra, she's asking and looking for balance. And the balance will be one of the big factors is harmony. That will be big. Finding the harmony. Okay. So again, the vertex comes up, or I'm sorry, the 14 degrees. This is another Venus degree. And choices, I'm hearing choices, and I'm hearing decisions. And your decisions will carve your path to your destiny. To keep that in mind. It is your decisions that carve your path towards your destiny. Okay? It's going to be based on Venus's cravings. Venus's cravings, what she has like just ingrained that this is what I desire, and to be cautioned for perfection because it can be tricky, because that doesn't really exist. We really then have to come smarter, wiser, Jupiter, and accept. And this is where they're saying the forgiveness comes in, where the forgiveness is going to play a role. And just ask for help. At the end of the day, just ask for help. So with that said, for this month, Venus is going to stay. Let me give you the vertex stuff. Venus gets close. This is August 18th. So this is where she's triggering fated energy. Remember the rule about fated energy? It's the we energy. It's not the destiny, which is the me energy, which means it can be just distractions, right? Everyone sees vertex and they're like, oh my God. No, vertex really is choice points for sure and opportunities, but just make sure that we're staying smart. And I think you will be, because look, you have Saturn, like you do right now, sitting at the opposite end of your vertex point. So there is some strong discipline for self, but this may also feel as though there's restrictions and slowdowns. Like if you're doing something with the body or your freedom or your own independence, and if you feel as though like heavy duty and responsibility and just like a heavy workload, it's because the Saturn is just sitting on that vertex point. Okay. But the Venus might kind of lighten that load. So that's August 18th, August 19th, August 20th. Once we get to like the week of August 25th, the Venus pulls away and she's free because she's not opposite of Saturn any longer. You follow? So what that means is the week before, be cautious with your money and your spending because of the Saturn opposite of a Venus, my values, the money in the bank. There just might be a slowdown or a restriction of some sort. So we just want to, who knows, some responsibilities of some sort. Like, oh, I don't know, you got to take the car in and they say it's worth, God knows. There's always some unexpected expense that occurs. So that's just for that short amount of time, though. It's not an overly large concern. You are going to have Mercury and the Sun then who join into Virgo energy for all of us. And this will be in your 5th house. So now the thing about having the Mercury and the Sun together there in your 5th house is they're going to be triggering your Uranus energy at 6. So again, learning something new about health, maybe continuing education, right? This can just be something that's simple and practical because we're talking Virgo, but having it in the 5th house and having Mercury traveling through, this gives you an opportunity to put it into practice and to not just sit on it. Not to say that you are sitting on it, but to literally communicate, to talk, to navigate, to share information, to teach information, to teach the knowledge and the whatever you've gathered. Mercury is the business person, right? Merchandising, getting myself out there. And as we look through your 3rd house and Mars going through there, Mars is working with the public in the 3rd house in your chart because you've got Cancer energy there, right? So Mars coming up on touching in at the 3rd house cusp line even right now, but Mars will stay in that 3rd house of learning, actively learning. But because the moon gets involved, so maybe that means you're learning from home. That could be a possibility. But maybe that means you're also working with the public in some way. It could be both, working with feminine energy, taking action. The thing I would be cautious about for August is when we have Mars in Cancer in the third house of my mind and communication, is we might be easily angered because it's our emotions. So things that have to do with family and home. And that's where the really strong energy came at the very beginning of looking at your chart. Like when shit was coming in really fast and I felt like I was being darted all around your chart. It started with the Leo with children, and then it went right to Cancer and the past and the ancestral stuff and the forgiveness. Remember all that? So with Mars, when it enters Cancer energy, and, literally that's within 4 days or whatever, that starts to trigger all that for you, right? Because that's birthday time, right? I said birthday time. Well, that's your sun is 0 degrees Cancer. So it's what I mean. You'll have Mars connected to that. So this energy does trigger the past, but it also triggers your North Node. And so when we think of the ancestral stuff and property and history, just remember that little piece that kept coming through strongly about that forgiveness stuff. Not that you don't know these things, but there must be something unresolved, something still there that has to be dealt with. And just hearing loudly, remind herself, her people, whoever, about how that works, physically in the body. Mars can create the anger, and it creates those little, what do they call them? Like thorns, like on a thorn bush, that they literally pop up physically in the body. And sometimes we have to remind ourselves, like we have to walk through those steps, especially if we're impatient. Because when our emotions and Mars energy get together, watch out, right? It can be boiling water on the stove. Mars inflames whatever it touches. So for you, with Mars in your Gemini, your thoughts and the way that you communicate, it could just be impatience, right? It could be impatience. It can be way too scattered energy, even because of Mars in the third in Gemini, and also at the 3 degrees. But lots of learning and scattered energy is possible. Okay. And understanding you might be moving faster than a whole lot of other people. Okay. So those would be the things, the cautions, especially for Mars, but being open and adaptable, and apply practical stuff with your Virgo energy, something practical. Okay. And thankfully, Venus will be in moderation. Venus will be in Libra. Just be careful of the Venus and the moderation in terms of perfection. Tell her, back the hell off. Perfection's not possible, but we're keeping track. We're following like maybe a 80-20 thing, where it's like, I know I can't do that all the time, but I can do it 80% of the time. And tell Venus that's the goal, not this whole perfection thing. So that's personal and professional stuff. And it would be within the home as well, and within health and your own health, and possibly the balance of that for yourself. So I hope that makes sense. The other thing really quick is August, at the end of August, the Uranus energy. I know I mentioned it really quickly. Let me, because it's kind of coming right back. It's going to be very significant for you, because we're going to have a 1 day window where the Mercury and Sun sit together. This is where a blast of knowledge comes through. And normally we should never make a decision at that time. Don't make a decision at that time in your chart either, because you have Uranus sitting right there. So you're going to feel almost like you have to make a decision. You have to make a choice. If you do, understand it's temporary. Understand you're doing it, and you're going to change your mind. Does that make sense? Because sometimes I understand the urges. This is specifically August 27th, August 28th. All right. And after that, Mercury starts to pull away, so it should not be as strong. It'll still be strong, right? There's a big, I am the authority type of energy happening, and perfection. Oh my God. And critiquing. It'll be over the top. Okay. For different, for new, and I have to break away. Hopefully it just means I'm just getting out of town and taking a little, weekend away or something. All right. It can be as simple as that. But if it comes down to being nitty picky and whatever, then just, take a back seat. So after the 29th, that should be much better, as Mercury then is now focused more on work and being grounded and being really logical and rational. Okay. Okay. So that was the big message. You'll have balance on your side after that. But Mars will still be a thing even into September for about another week for you, just so you know, in your chart, in your third house of communication, which can be spicy communication. Okay. Oh, well, then that's it. If you're doing something new and different, then it's perfect energy for that. I see. Okay. Okay. Very good. Good, good, good. All right. We are moving on. Thank you again so much for the channel gift. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. These are free readings, speed readings. Donna had left a channel gift. So the payment apps for people who want to do that are right under the live stream. And I think that's Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Yeah. And if you don't have the means to do that, don't worry about it. You get a free reading. So here we go. We're going to the free readings: birth time, birth date, birth city, birth state. Get all your digits, get everything, all the information together on one line. If you can, that would be the best. If I got to go fishing, then it slows everything down and makes it a little bit more difficult to do. Okay, so Tia 71 or Tia S 1978. Tia, I don't see digits. I don't know if we have digits for you, so we're going to the next name. Oh, thank you for saying you can hear and see me, Donna. I appreciate that. Oh, there's Tia right there. Okay, Tia, you're up. If you're still here. Tia, are you here? Let me know you're still here. Donna said, what? Me spicy? Oh, God. Yeah, I completely understand that spicy energy. I'm in that spicy mode. So can I get a closer look at my love placements today? I think you may have my info. October 6th, 1998, Indianapolis, Indiana, 8:30 p.m. Tia, are you here? Oh, Tia said I'm here. Okay. Let's take a look. Tia, have you been here? Let's see if I have that name. If not, we'll draw that up. Tia is here, and I do have Tia's name. Wow, that's phenomenal. I have Tia's name. Great. Awesome. Perfect. Good job, Tia. Yeah, you're fine. I see you. Very good. I see that you're here. You're good. All right, so Tia. Actually, let me go mark that where you gave it to me earlier. It's kind of how I keep track of the insanity. Yeah, we're going to hold that. That's going to hold my space. So let's get that up here. Here we go. These are speed readings. Unless you gift the channel, these are speed readings. Birth time, birth date, birth city, birth state. Give a gift to the channel, and then we can spend more time on your chart. And if you can't do that, don't worry about it. We will just read your chart. And Tia was asking about love. So we're going to take a quick look at that for Tia. I always want to cue my Love Boat music. The love. Okay, so you have Jupiter sitting here, sitting on your fourth house cusp line. Jupiter brings opportunities, but Jupiter also is a focus on the future. Hello. And it's in Leo. That's the Department of Romance, is Leo energy, by the way. You see that? So opportunities. Oh, wow. You did. Oh, interesting. Seventh house connection, partnerships. You had Jupiter trining it, and you have a health report card. Now, this can pertain to romance, but also your creative stuff. How you create, how you stand out, fun, laughter, having a good time. Now, the Pluto it was connecting with, which would mean possibly a change a change in partnerships for the future. 7th house is, business partnerships, but also personal relationships. So this Jupiter maybe had you thinking. That's a very good possibility. All right. So what I'm seeing here is a possibility. Let me see. You've got the moon right now for today. The moon is in Aries. It's fiery energy. So there's a lot of nice fire trine energy. And fire is very active. It's very active, can be spicy, can be fun. It's not going to just sit still on something. So there's a combination of freedom and independence, feeling like a kid again, because the moon is trining your Mars. Exactly, like your Mars is at 29 in Leo, and we got the moon at 26 in Aries. This energy can be quite strong for independence because Mars is a solo person. You follow? But it's in Leo. So this can be very performative energy, even like physically performative, being physically active, taking a risk with my body. You follow? Your question said, take a closer look at my love placement today. Well, this is kind of spicy energy for sure, right? It can be very impatient, but it's very youthful. The moon in Aries. There's a little bit of naivete with Aries energy. And then the very courageous energy with Mars in Leo. And it trines the 8th house cusp line exactly of strong, deep bonds. So you have these strong, deep bonds with a ton of people, actually, because you have Saggy here, and it's the galactic center. So this is a point of need, meaning when I'm with people, you may not feel as though you could possibly, let me put it to you like this. Sometimes people will have their physical fun, as adults do, two consenting adults having their physical fun with just for the sake of having physical fun. Some are like, oh no, there has to be a deep bond there. You follow? Cat energy is just like, hey, let's just have a good time, damn it. You follow what I mean? But the Sagittarius in the 8th house says, but I need to be bonded in some way. Like there should be some emotional depth, some soul connection. And it's not because we proclaim it, we feel it, we know it. You follow? There's a strong trine here in your chart for this, all right? And it's supported by the transits. Now, because the moon's part of it, it amps it up a little bit more, but there's a bit of spiciness here. Eris is here. And so she can be, she can just add a whole level of spiciness to it on a lot of different levels. Now, I will add that you having Mars over here on your 2nd house cusp line of desire and of addictions, cravings, communicating a back and forth, but also to learn possibly about self even. Mars right on your 2nd house cusp line. Yeah, at the opposition of that galactic center. And it's part of this big trine, but even part of, some of the other big energies we have going on. So how we feel emotionally in Aries, we feel like we need space or we need to lead in some way, right? But there's definitely a strong pioneering solo type of energy with the moon in Aries. Like, check back with me tomorrow. I'll be more, whatever. Or it could just simply take effect as far as I just need to be very physical. Mars energy, Aries energy needs to be physically challenged. So if we're finding for whatever relationship or whatever kind of a relationship we're in, sometimes the solution is to just go take a quick jog or go dig a damn hole. Or if you have a willing partner, go have some fun, right? To just get that sort of that aggressive, maybe that's too strong of a word, really assertive energy out. Like that can be there too. And here's the other tidbit, everybody. Mars and Pluto are both out of bounds right now. This take things up a big notch. Like, this is where we recognize where when the moon goes full, we're like, holy shit, I'm turned into the werewolf. I can feel it. I know it. I can feel like I'm going to knock someone's head off the next word somebody. Like, it's when Mars and Pluto are out of bounds together. Yeah, we're in that mode right now. So maybe things feel and seem different and you don't understand why. Maybe it gives you a sense of edginess and you're like, oh yeah, I'm liking this. There's a few different factors involved here. Okay. Not just one thing. There's a few. Now your Venus energy, let me go find the Venus for you at 28. She's semi-sextile to your Mars and it's trining your Neptune exactly. Okay. With that said, a Venus exactly trining your Neptune can be illusions and delusions. Remember, Venus is your desire energy. She's in an exact trine to your Neptune, and your Neptune's in the house that's focused on the future. It's very dreamy. Now, your Neptune is tricky because it's immaterial, tangible Capricorn energy. So it is focused on that long-term commitment, that long-term dream thing. Okay. Normally, I love a Venus in Virgo because Venus in Virgo is smart energy, but she's under the Neptune spell today. And she will be clearing the Neptune spell. You'll get the all clear on roughly August 7th. All right. So I hope that helps. Remember, Venus is love language, and desire energy. Cobra, I don't know if you're in my system. I see you a few times. Are you a Freemason? Birth time, birth date, birth city, birth state. High jump. What's going on? Come on, folks. This is what we need on the screen. Thank you and welcome to the live stream. Tasha. Woohoo, Tasha, you're next. And you have digits. This is what I'm talking about, people. 8:47 p.m., October 24th, 2002. Yay. Do I have you in my system already? Tasha, are you still here? Let me see if my damn phone works this time. Oh, Lord. Let's see if Tasha is here. Maybe see the bottom of the chart. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. What the hell was that? That sounded like a goddamn bobcat. We don't have any bobcats here. What the hell was that? All right, so these are speed readings. These are free speed readings unless you send a gift to the channel, then I spend more time on your chart. Otherwise, you get a free speed reading, and it's okay. Hold on a second. Let me find this. Let me see if they'll give me. Oh, God, YouTube just makes the shit harder and harder. I can't even find my shit anymore. Let me see if I can find it this way. You know, they want to just cram so much shit. Okay, hold on. All right, so now's the time. If you haven't taken the time to do it, now's the time to put a thumbs up for the channel. Help the channel help you, okay? As soon as the live stream ends, they tell me. They give me all my stats. And it's like, okay. And then I'm like, okay, so yeah. Let's do what we got to do to make this work for everybody. Take a moment, give it a thumbs up. Take a moment if you need to. If you know somebody who can benefit from this, share it out. That would help. That helps people. That helps the channel to help you. All right, let's get Tasha's chart going in here. Did you have a question, Tasha? Or I'll just tell you whatever's jumping out at me. All right, we got to create this. So let's get this going here. I, Tasha Modi. And what are we looking at? October 24th. 2002. And we have 8:47 p.m. Spectacular. And India. Excellent. Let's see what they give me. Okay, so this chart, hopefully this is you, this Western chart. All right, let me star that and then get that off the screen so you guys can see it. Okay, I just have to figure out different ways to keep track of who the hell's next. Okay. All right, this is giving us Gemini rising, 25 degrees with a Saturn not far. Saturn at 28 on the ascendant. This is, your moon is also in Gemini in this chart. Woohoo! A moon in Gemini. That sound about right? Is that you? Yeah, we can do compatibility charts. Remember, it's first come. I was going to say it's first come, first serve. Remember, it's one chart per reading. So to do something like that, you need to send an email. It has to be set up in advance. Otherwise, it takes lots of time to create 2 charts. If it's all done ahead of time, then it's presented as one chart. You follow? But it has to be arranged ahead of time. So, is Tasha still here? Was Tasha ever here? Tasha did say I'm here. I saw her say that. Oh, maybe I was misreading Tasha for Tia? Oh. No. Maybe. All right, well, let's try this one more time. Roll call. The chart on the screen is October 24th, 2002, 8:47 p.m., Punjab, India. Maybe I'm saying the name wrong. It looks like Aitasha Modi. I don't know how to speak the language, you know. If you're here, let me know. If not, I'm moving on. We're going to do going once, going twice, going 3 times, and then we'll go on to I thought I saw you say I'm here, but maybe I just realized maybe that was Tia that I saw, and I thought, oh, this person's here. That's a possibility. Yeah, Donna, I see that. Yeah. Yeah. You know, sometimes I feel retarded telling people things that I know they already know them, but it's like what was just huge, you know? And I'm like, okay, we'll just say this. This is what's just jumping out really strong. Okay. Okay, so I just created a chart, and this person, according to this chat, is not here. That's according to this chat. So we're going to be moving on. We're going to move on quickly. Yeah, I looked on the phone. I don't see it there either. Okay. All right. So the next name up, that just bites. That burns me, man. All right. So how about Biddy? Is Biddy in the house? Biddy, are you in the star room? June 13th, 1981. Balrana, whatever that is, NSW. My brain isn't functioning in a normal way. NSW is what? Yeah, the other side of the brain is more prominent. Biddy said Australia. Biddy, are you here? Biddy's like, I'm here. New South Wales. Thank you. Yeah, my brain. I know on any other day, normally my brain's like, that's what that is. Not today. All right, Biddy. Maybe we have Biddy here already. Let's check. Let's double check. Biddy 13. We got you. Great. Okay. Having your stuff already in the system. Yep. Then in the future, you can say, I've got you. I'm in your system. This is showing Cancer on the ascendant. I'm just looking to see if Biddy had anything you wanted me to focus on. Hey, Steffi G, I see you. How are you? And Gigi's here. Happy Tuesday. Okay, so Biddy, I don't see a question, so you're going to get like whatever's jumping out, I guess. That's how we're doing this. Okay, another chart. The 2-degree nodes jumped out. The Venus, the Mars, the 2-degree nodes are prominent right now. Normally when we speak Venus and Mars, we're talking relationship energy many times, masculine, feminine, compatibility or not. Your Cancer, your Venus, your love language is hidden. Yeah, it's interesting. It's in your 12th house, but it's also at a degree that's a spiritual degree. And ancestry, the past, emotions. This goes really deep. It talks about the lineage, your heritage, but also like soul energy. It's a combination. So it's quite deep. And people with the water in the water houses, oh my God, you guys are living through so much in your present day that is like infused with all the ingredients from the past. It's, you ever cook on the stovetop and you got this great big pot of whatever. And especially in some cultures have a pot of beans on the stove. And it's that same damn pot that's been there since 10, 20 years ago. They just keep adding to it. They just keep adding water. They add some fresh beans. They throw onion in there. No shit, not even making this up. And so there's so much from the past that permeates, that is dripping in the present. So much from the past is oozing into the present. So it becomes really difficult to decipher and to steer clear of, what am I currently experiencing and how much of the past is actually influencing, because that 12th house is so sensitive. So anything with family, anything like grandma energy, anything with mom energy and home and property for sure. So sometimes with people, when they have this, there can be lots of surprises, right? Because the connection, when we have Pisces in the 8th house and Cancer in the 12th and Scorpio in the 4th, we can have these deep connections with other souls, with other beings. These can be people we didn't have a whole lot of time with, but our souls had a lot of time together. So we could have little surprises by way of property, or maybe even an inheritance of some sort. And the fact that the Venus thing popped up is interesting. And you have a 0 degrees on that 8th house cusp line of insurance money and inheritances. To be real, this is also the placement of death and taxes, of course, too, right? Insurance money. But the 0 degrees in your moon trining that, yeah, I don't know why. This is what's coming out right at this moment. The strong stuff with the nodes, which Venus is the ruler of this energy. And your node, your south node, is in Aquarius energy. Ancient teaching is that the Aquarian energy, Uranus energy, the shock and surprise energy actually is really strong in Aquarius, because the nodes are considered the ruler, one of the rulers of that Aquarian energy. So things that are disruptive and sudden in partnerships and love and value and money is something that is unconventional, that is different, that is just so totally non-traditional for you by way of who or what you align with in terms of partnerships, personally and professionally, or both. And you won't sit still. You'll take action on those things. The other strong connection that's coming forward is the 11th house, where your Mars sits, of friends and communication and learning, but extremely unique. These people have a mindset of they are like the rebel of rebels Do you know what I'm saying? Not to mention you've got the South Node in your 7th house. So I married a rebel, right? Or my partner is that rebel that just is so unique, so authentic in some way. But the thinking and the way your mind works and the learning is definitely rogue energy. Doesn't mean that this is a negative thing. Actually, it's a wonderful thing. It means these people are like the ultimate survivors in many ways because they can think outside the box. You know, when all else fails, they can come up with the options, with the different variety of ways we can do things. So strong air trine pronounced in Jupiter, all of this energy is so strong. So Uranian energy had to have played a big role for you recently with Uranus sitting, or trining, I should say, to your Saturn with work and long-term commitment. Yeah, Uranus sitting on your Mars. Holy hell. Group energy and streaming, 11th house, technology and streaming and learning and you being active. Hello. This is why you're here. Uranus is sitting here, right? Why you came last week or the week before. Uranus got close enough and you just couldn't. Yeah. And if you were here earlier, well, you made yourself known, right? You got involved. But it's being part of a group, like-minded individuals, as unique and as different as we all are. The Aquarius, the science, the space, the future, the astrology, the sacred language, actually. And Gemini is languages, is words, right? So symbology, symbols in the beginning. What were the words? What was the knowledge? Symbols, right? Sacred symbols, sacred language. That's astrology. And so this is what you're doing here today. Or I should say at this time. So with all that said, this is an exciting time for you. Now, I'm kind of being guided to tell you about the Uranian energy because your retrograde, I think I already mentioned this, but the retrograde starts, it's going to start up. Yeah, it's at this 5 degrees. It's right on your Mars. So whether you already knew about it or not, but this means when a retrograde starts, things become way more internal. We become even more rebellious and you're going to be taking action even more. Impatient will be huge. People being, and if it's not, yeah, it can be friends, people you're connected with, where you're seeing things are just moving incredibly fast. But so the learning thing for you, the online, the streaming thing can be huge. Okay, so yeah, we're talking September 9th, September 10th. And I would say even like the 5 days before then, because the planet slows the hell down before it begins the retrograde. And at that time, it's going to connect even stronger to your Saturn. Long-term commitments, significant one-on-one relationships, contracts, and communication business. This looks professional, okay? It's connecting to your Saturn, your work. It's at 3 degrees, so writing comes up again. So this should probably be a very big deal in the fact that that connection happens there easily. And the Pluto up in the sky is retrograding towards your Saturn in a nice trine. So we're changing our long-term goals, commitment, work, significant relationships, maybe changing a contract if we're literally, filling out stuff. Pluto's going to be trining, and Pluto brings about a change. Partnerships is huge. So whatever you do, partnerships and contract stuff is finance. Well, yeah, this is a big deal here. That comes through loudly. So again, that's like September, the beginning of September. We'll put like the first 10, 15 days of September for you. There'll be serious matters in finances and relationships and the long-term goal. And major changes because of the Pluto energy. Okay, moving on. We've got... Okay, Biddy was not playing around. Good job, Biddy. Got your digits in multiple times. Happy Tuesday. Okay, Gigi, you're up. You're the next name. Is Gigi still here? I'll see you at Camp Chesterfield. Oh, Gem 66. Jem, wouldn't it be funny if we've already met and we just didn't know it? It's a very damn good possibility. Unless you just started going to camp. Jem's probably gone already. Anyway. Oh, you're so sweet, Steffi G. Thank you. Gigi, are you here? Gigi says, I'm here. Yeah, birth time, birth date, birth city, birth state. These are free readings unless you leave a channel gift. The payment apps are down below. Venmo, Cash App, PayPal. Everyone gets a speed reading otherwise. If you send a gift to the channel, I spend more time in your chart. The gift you send is up to you. That depicts how much time I spent on your chart. You don't have that? That's okay. Get a speed reading. Not a problem. We're here to help. This is really the goal. Not everybody can afford an astrology reading. You get a 90-minute reading is at the low end $300 for 90 minutes for a one-on-one consultation. That's on the low end, by the way. Okay. So with that said, it's crazy high. Let's find Gigi's chart. Gigi Hayes, there you are, November 17th. Got you in the system. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, once you're in the chat with your digits, then I know you're serious about wanting a reading, right? But if I come across your name and it's your turn, and if I don't see your digits, I just go to the next name. Okay, so Gigi, what are we focusing on? Compatibility would have to be for another day. I see your question there because I'd have to have that set up ahead of time. So I'm just going to kind of, I guess, go over whatever pops out for you. Because I don't think I saw. All right, so let's do this for Gigi. Oh, let's get the chart on the screen. That would be the way to do it. There we go. All right, Gigi. All right. Ooh, okay, big deal going on for you. You have the first thing is that node that jumped out. You got the node. You're going to have a nodal. You're in your nodal reversal. Now, having that Leo up at that midheaven, that is long-term commitment energy. It's career, it's work, but it could be vocation even. Because it's Leo there, can be if you have a long-term commitment with children or with an authority figure, possibly romance, possibly marriage or a partner of some sort. All right. Because that's that Leo. A nodal reversal means things are changing. They're already changing for sure. Because you have a report card right next to it, which says you're paying attention. There's an internal dialogue of paying attention of, a tally marker of, what's the situation here? A, B, C, or does this person get a D? Like, where are we at? And again, children can be part of this, but something or someone that you have a long-term commitment to, an authority figure or somebody you look up to. This can be dad energy as well. So it can be in multiple ways. It can show up in multiple ways in our life. But this nodal reversal says, I have to get you back onto your soul's path, along your soul's goal. And sometimes that means we have to say goodbye to something or someone. That is the reality. Now, with that said, this might be someone that's considered a friend, might be somebody that's older. That's a possibility. I think even right now, let me look at your Venus energy. Yes, look carefully. You see your natal Venus is right there, 29 degrees in Scorpio. Bonded energy, desire. This is the romantic energy for sure. Your love language, people, you need to have a deep bond with them. The nodes, along with your node is always angling those, always creating a stress and tension. But when the node up in the sky joins that party, it creates a whole nother level of stress and tension. It's testing time energy. But when the nodes come through, we're either going to make a change, a deep change, and there's going to be improvement, or we make a deep change and we go our separate ways type of energy. It's like one or the other. It's not like we're just going to coast through this. You follow? Because this kind of energy, if we ignore it, it usually comes back in a much more difficult way later on. The other thing too is there's a big focus on the long term. Health can be part of this, but work, but domestic energy. Like, how practical is this? Does this work? Is it realistic? It shouldn't be this hard type of energy because it doesn't make sense, right? The node and your node together, training your natal Saturn of restrictions, of slowdowns, challenging my freedom, perhaps even, right? And look at, even the freaking moon is sitting there on this today, right? So the domestic energy, my day-to-day routines, things just, right? When people have their moon on their Saturn, it might feel a little bit heavier. Our Aries energy, which is light and optimistic and more free thinking, freewheeling, just more adventurous, more just ready to get up and go. Not when Saturn's involved. Saturn is serious and heavy duty energy. It weighs us down. It's a burden. It's a lot of work normally. So the moon on Saturn, a lot of work, can be a little on the depressing side, but Aries tends to be quite optimistic. But the change that is here for you with the North Node conjunct the South Node up in the sky says it's a change that's in the air for you, okay? Destiny even. Home, family, right? And the thing is, this is for the better. This isn't like a doom and gloom chain. This is for the better. This is like a good thing, So there can be lots of wonderful opportunities that come along, all right? Opportunities that possibly have to do with family members, especially if there's anything or anyone in some way that you feel like has been, I don't know, holding you back. Remember that Saturn energy, anything that feels like a delay or a slowdown. This is saying also fear. With Saturn, there's an element of fear that comes up, okay? That's all going to pass once these nodes move, all right? So if you're feeling it more than usual, you're just waiting for these nodes to clear out of the way, to release that fear, okay? Maybe opportunities of welcoming new people into the fold, possibly people into the family even, because you have a lot of group energy down here. So whether you work with groups or something, because that's Aquarius, but it's also science, right? Can also be like seniors, but science, even medicine possibly involved. You even have Uranus here. So yeah. Anyways, talking about destiny playing a strong hand right now in what's going on. But once this node moves, I'm going to give you a little bit of a timeline real quick when you can feel it easing. And that ease should start to relax a little bit for you. I feel like I already told you this at one point. I don't know, looking at different charts. Yeah, you're talking October. Okay. And that should ease off of your Venus. And that's the big deal. That Venus energy is, she feels bonded, but bound. Not just like we are bonded, but literally like when we're bound to something or someone, we're tethered, and that's a tricky energy. Tricky energy. It's like it feels good, but yeah, I feel, it's very tricky. So October going into November, okay? Things should ease up a little bit more in terms of whether it's relationships, love, money, desire, attachments, all that energy. All right. After Gigi, Aaron. I have Aaron. Is Aaron here? Aaron Maria, N5. February 20th, 1985, 8:30 a.m., Tallahassee, Florida. Donna said, makes a lot of sense. Okay. Is Aaron Maria here? Aaron said, I'm here. Woohoo. Good job. All right, let's get your chart in here. Did you have, in one or two words, something you want me to focus on, or am I just going to kind of go with what pops in? Let me get your chart drawn up. Remember, these are free readings. Speed readings, okay? I have to keep telling myself that. I need to get a freaking timer, right? And right before I start reading, I need to it's hard because the chart tells a story. You know what I'm saying? It's like you start reading and they're like, yeah, it's like turning the page. February 20th, 1985. Oh, Lord, I just erased your name. All right. Let's go to a different line. Here we go. $8:30 a.m. Thank you very much. Tallahassee, Florida. Have you seen your chart before? All right, let's see what this shows us. Why is it giving me a hard time? I need water. Hold on a second. So, yep. These are speed readings. Unless you leave a channel gift. People who gift the channel, then we spend more time on the reading for you. Otherwise, you get a speed reading. Okay, Erin mentions a yod. And that Uranus is activating her yod. Yes. It is important. But staying connected to the yod, the high point on the yod. Basically, what it's going to mean for you is you get to take a break from the usual, the regular, the mundane. You follow? But it should probably also give you additional information. Uranus comes through as divine knowledge. You know what I'm saying? So it can bring in additional information on doing something different or in a different way, a different perspective. Let's look at this chart real quick and let me see if this is 15 degrees Aries on the ascendant with a Venus and a Mars right there. Holy shit. And an Eris. Whoa. Okay. Wow. Oh, wow. Really? Is this really you? Pisces sun, Mercury in the Pisces. Moon in Pisces. Is this really you? Wow. This is in the 12th house. And your freaking Mars is in the 12th. Okay, before I say anything else, I need confirmation. Is this really you? Pluto on the 7th. Yikes. Holy shit, this is her or him. Intense triple Pisces. Okay, well, here's the thing. Intense, yes. Mars, Eris, and Mars and Venus all on the Aries ascendant. Whew, at 15 degrees. Okay, so here's the trick bag. Your Mars is in your 12th house. 12th house is a really sensitive location. I know this isn't part of the reading, but this Uranus energy over here and your 9th house cusp line trines your Mars, your Venus, and your ascendant, making one very impatient at times and very impulsive. You have a grand fire trine with sun god Ra. Egyptian sun god Ra. In your 5th house of creativity and romance, mating, dating, relating, you have Leo in the 5th house. 0 degrees. Okay, 0 is intense energy. I see that. Your north node is, whoa, yeah, your north node is on desires. Oh, you got to be cautious of a lot of things in your chart. All the sensitivity is difficult. Okay, so yep, this is really you. Holy shit. Okay, Pluto in the 7th house. Deep changes within partnerships. Pluto has 0 patience unless I'm in a partnership that is deeply meaningful. It'll just move on. It's like, okay, there's nothing left in this one. And that sounds horrible, like a horrible way to say it. It just means there's no more growth happening. Like Pluto demands growth, evolution, change. It demands that. So if somebody can't grow alongside you and with you, that's going to be tricky. And it's a retrograding Pluto. It's at 4 degrees. Yikes. So you're having contact with a whole ton of people from the past. A lot of karmic stuff here. Wow. Okay. So with that said, all that karmic stuff can be wonderful. It can bring up a lot of other things too. Jupiter squaring Pluto. All right. So I just got to kind of get a good look at this. So what do we got? 4, 2. So are you in your mind, is your Neptune at the top of your kite or your midheaven in your mind? Your 8 degree Capricorn, is that at the top of your midheaven? When you asked me that question, you said it triggers your kite. Oh, definitely. I'm back at the chat just to check on confirmation here. Yeah, this Pluto, oh, for sure. The past is oozing out of this in so many ways. But the South Node at 21 too doesn't help either. I'm just saying that's a freaking Jupiter degree. I'm just letting you know. It's all in your 7th house, conjunct your 8th house cusp line, which is deeply bonded energy at a restrictive degree, at a Saturn degree, but then Saturn there as well. So delays and slowdowns within bonded energy. Now, getting back to my question, triggers your Chiron. That's what I wanted to understand in your chart. What are you looking at that tells you? Okay, so you're saying your Chiron. All right, so here's the thing. Oh, yeah, you did mention Uranus. My bad. Right. All right, so here's what's going to happen. Uranus is already at 5 degrees, just so you know. Your Chiron is at 3, so it already got triggered, but it's going to go retrograde, so that's likely what you're talking about. The thing is, I am going to 3, 6, and I'm just trying to get some clarity on. Okay, so 6 is your vertex. All right. So the apex is the really important piece of your kite. Not that all the pieces of the kite don't matter. They do. Chiron at 3 degrees is a wound about communication, a wound about my mind, a wound about learning, the way I process information, the way I share information. This may have to do with finances and money, right? That can be part of it. When I'm talking about things that are important to me, my values, right? Gemini, business. But it's probably making small talk, and maybe there's a wound over that. A wound maybe from my childhood, maybe a learning disability even at 3 degrees. Just something there that has to do with communication and the functioning of the brain, but also the nervous system, by the way. Gemini energy, Mercury ruling that, the nervous system. I mean, there's so much sensitivity. It's going to be off the charts, right? Now, I'm going into all this deep dive because the apex of this kite is going to be the opposition to your Chiron. And I have up here the closest degree to that is Sisyphus. And this can be tricky. Sisyphus gives us the feeling that we always have to start over. And so this would absolutely make your Chiron even more challenging, I think. I mean, you're probably aware of it. But again, that's in the 8th house of bonded energy and emotions and the trauma, the tragedies of the past. So having Sisyphus there, it feels like I get to the mountaintop, I completed something, and just when I get to the recognition reward, like you did it, you're done, you have to start back all over again. It's like Simon says, you have to go back to step 1 again. So it's like feeling like the rug has been pulled out from under you just when you thought you had things under control, even. Almost like feeling like we're running against the wind type of energy too. So it's the beliefs about your future and the wounds and the bonded energy, your beliefs about the past, the beliefs about deep trauma and tragic stuff, probably associated with authority figures, possibly, and your long-term goals even. And this can be deeply committed energy. So with Uranus coming through, it's going to zap your brain, right? At that retrograde, there can be some surprises. There can be things that occur that trigger it to say, here's a different way of looking at that. Here's a new perspective. Here's a new, it wants you to break out of the old way of looking at something. So absolutely, this can be an activator to change your perspective. Because that Sisyphus, does anybody ever see that movie, like the Groundhog Day thing or whatever, where they just have to keep repeating like the same damn thing over and over? Do you ever feel that way? In the deeply bonded, committed relationships and the communication, your beliefs about your future, spirituality would be huge here. Spirituality, always seeking, searching, but you feel like you have a deeper connection. But always learning and wanting to learn. That learning cycle. So yeah, I feel like for you, the Uranus energy definitely is going to trigger and activate. That can be an authority figure. That can be somebody that you look up to, or it can just simply be you feeling like you need to break out of a rut. Okay? But remember, it's the apex of the kite. That is where all of those planets of your kite flow out of, flow through. And ultimately, because that's in the 8th house, it's time for a healing is what it is. All right. So you may feel like you're always trying to heal some shit. That's what the Sisyphus would suggest. Health and the connection between spiritual health, your mental well-being, your physical body, and the ability to be in the deeply bonded relationships. And so, yeah, there's a lot there. A lot there. All right, we are moving on. These are speed readings. If you are new here, you put your birth time, birth date, birth city, birth state into the chat. We go in order. As long as you have your digits there, that makes you eligible. If all the digits aren't there, then I have to scroll to the next name. But that's okay. Get your name back in there. Get all your stuff together. So it makes it simpler. So it doesn't eat up all the time for other people. So they can have a reading. For those of you who have the means, you could always send a channel gift if you want. And if you do, I'll spend more time in your chart. And if you don't worry about it. You'll get a free reading, a speed reading. All right. So let's keep moving on. So we were just on Aaron. And now we're going to who was next in line. I'm scrolling. I am scrolling. I got a couple of names here. And I think the next one with information, Chicago, Illinois, Love Universal Ministry. What's going on? 1:10 a.m. Chicago, Illinois, September 9th, 1994. Are you still here? Are you still here? Let's keep this rolling. Don't forget to take a moment to do a thumbs up if you can. That'd be great for the channel. Help the channel, help you. Kindly do mine now. Interesting wording there. Birth time, birth date, birth city, birth state, please. And thank you. Usually go a long way. Just saying. All right, we're done with that. So always starting over. Rise and fall, rise and fall. Oh, Aaron, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to read that. I mean, unless you like that sort of a thing. Yeah, your chart is intense. There's a lot to unpack in your chart. Charts are deep, man. And, you know, it's one thing to look at your physical chart. It's another to look at your soul chart. Like, there's just so many freaking layers. It's crazy. All right. So is love universal? This name, is this person here? I'm going to call your stuff off one more time, and then we're going to the next one. September 9th, 1994. Love Universal Ministry. If you are here, let me know. If not, we are moving on. Okay, Shasha, I see you're using the kindly and the pleases. Good job. Very good. When we'll meet permanent partner. All right. Yeah, it doesn't matter where you were born. I got people from India here. It's all good. The chart draws it up. It's all good. All right. So let me see who's next in line. It must be that person. JV1234. It is your turn. Very good. Dominican Republic. Santo Domingo. Let's get your chart up. All right. These are speed readings. JB. I like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. It just makes it so much easier. Sometimes I got names and yeah. I hate to butcher people's names, and I know I do. So is this a January 30th, 1986? January 30th, 1986, 6 a.m. Have you seen your chart before? All right. Santo Domingo. All righty. All right. So this is showing, let me get this on the screen real quick. Bam. This is showing a Capricorn on the rising and a Libra moon. Ooh, lots of cardinal energy. This shows a moon squaring Neptune, cardinal energy. Cappy rising, Cappy ascendant. A moon, Libra moon at 4 degrees. Aquarius sun conjunct Mercury. Whoa. No wonder. Is this you? Look at all that Aquarian energy. Yikes. Woohoo. Different, unconventional. Wow. This person dances to their own music. Yeah. These are trendsetters. These are youthful, kind of rebellious, kind of like, you're not the boss of me type of energy. And by the way, we all have Aquarius energy, but you've got a nice amount of it here. You even have a Jupiter sitting right on the second house cusp line if this is you. Wow. Okay, as long as you know that this is you. Great. All right, well, I'm going to start there then because that's kind of what's... All right, so our moon, a moon in the chart talks about my mom and my home and my family. Hold on, let me get this stuff to light up. So there's your moon. My emotions. It's in the house of spirituality. It's in the house of future. It's in the house of higher learning. And it's in relationships, significant one-on-one relationships. This can be equality, fairness, justice, and the law. lawyers, judicial system, judges, judgments. That's where your moon is. So these are things that make you feel emotionally secure and stable. What's tricky, significant relationships, what's tricky is it's squared by your Neptune. Neptune throws clouds and fuzziness and confusion. So it can kind of blur this a little bit. It can make it a little wonky, like I'm not really sure, right? Under the Neptune effect can make things, confusing at the end of the day. Now, with the moon squaring the Neptune, it can also put a focus on idealism, like my dream, my long-term commitments, or something that is more like fantastical, dreamy. It's really creative energy. It's actually quite nice having Neptune in the 12th. Makes it a little tricky in Cappy because your goals, your future, what your long-term commitments are, like what you want to build for your long-term, the long-term haul, even my vocation. It's in the placement of spirituality. Yeah, spiritual builder even would be this placement. So if it squares your moon, that might create some stress and tension with your moon. My emotions, my home and family, literally. Childhood, my own mother. And when it comes to home and family, you have the North Node at 3 degrees. You have Taurus energy here. So this is very fixed energy when it comes to emotions in the family and the home. Food, creature comforts, how things look, smell, taste, touch, those are going to have a lot to do with how you feel emotionally stable and secure in your life, in your chart. Taurus at the end of the day wants peace. Well, just I got my food, I'm comfortable, I got my space, this is all good. And then Taurus can be quite peaceful and serene and just left alone as the bull out in the pasture. Like it's got its grass, leave it the hell alone. But when we start poking that bull, that's when the damn horns come up in the home, right? Once the bull gets poked. So very fixed energy means I don't like change. So not going to like changes in the home. Things that are going to be sudden and disruptive, the bull's not going to be happy about that. Right? This would be income as well, because anything that has to do with my creature comforts. So my job, my income, my love language. Venus rules this. So she's all about her sweets. She's all about creature comforts and maybe even just using food to comfort self. Like this would be common. Even if I wasn't eating a lot of the stuff, when I was doing a lot of baking, I found that just baking it or making, right, cooking, whatever, was joyful, brought me joy, and so that could bring you some stability, some emotional security, emotional safety, even being around those things, but also the earth itself, the planet, right? So literally connecting to the earth, whether that's through gardening or planting or hiking or whatever the hell, right? Even nature elements, like all of that is part of this Taurus energy. So that all angles up and gets squared here. You have a lot of fixed energy in these placements. So remember what I said about this Venus and this Jupiter and your sun. This is very different and unconventional energy. I am the boss. You're not the boss of me. This is also very fixed energy. So very fixed energy says, don't mess with me. I am the authority of myself. And so if somebody tries to overstep their authority, they overstep their boundaries. It may not happen all the time, but when certain placements and certain things move in the sky, they're going to find out real fast. Like, for example, right now, Uranus is at 5, but it was at 4 degrees, which means you had Uranus trining your moon, your home, your relationships, significant one-on-one relationships. When Uranus does that, it triggers something different, something new. It's a change. It's a change. So that can be tricky unless you were looking forward to change, unless it was a change you initiated, right? But if you didn't initiate that change, well then, somebody's going to get the bull, and the bull's horns is what they're going to get. You follow? The other thing here too is with Jupiter right on your second house cusp line, this is more boss energy. So this can be great for people who, can take a position of authority. It's working with group energy as well, science, medicine, social causes, social services. There's kind of like a spiritual bent to it too with yours. It's not just about serving. It's also, there's an element of sacrifice here too, at this degree, service and sacrifice, the humanitarian kind of energy. And you have a lot of strong, you have a big, strong air trine and a huge kite in the chart. And at the top of the kite, I'm double checking real quick. Hold here. Yep. At the top of the kite, 9, Saturn, and Taurus. Yeah. The mind, talking, communication, learning, really smart energy with Mercury and Aquarius, by the way. These are the rocket scientists. You do have stuff that angles and squares it, though. That can throw challenges, monkey wrenches. But long-term goals and commitment. Your work would be to seek and to search. It could be traveling. This is an energy that is, again, very unconventional, unbelievably independent energy. When I see Saggy in the 11th house, yeah, these people, you might want to be in a relationship, right? But many times it is the freedom-loving Saggy, the freedom-loving sign. If they get tied down, they might miss out on the adventures. And if you're not living that life, then you have friends with people who live that way. But yeah, this is tricky energy with Aries in the 3rd. The mind moves fast. It can get bored very easily. So it's going to want to move on to the next adventure, whatever that might be. You even have Uranus in the 11th house. This can be like astronaut energy. Do you know what I say? Seriously. And at your midheaven is your goals and your future, your work, your job, your career. These are investigators. These are like excavators. These people dig. They're searching. Scorpio energy will drill down and show us what's hidden. So the drilling down and showing what's hidden energy, you have it by way of authority figures and boss energy. So, it's the Scorpio people that kind of hold the boss's feet to the fire because they got the backing of Pluto. They can do it. They can somehow get away with it. They can, there's just that interesting thing. And you even have Pluto in your 7th house. But overall, a deeply meaningful career and job. And it may involve healing. It's deeply psychological energy as well, by the way, Scorpio energy, because you have your nodes at 3 degrees, and that's the mind energy, but it's dipped in the past. It's dipped in the traumas and the wounds and the tragedies of other times. And maybe with people who've literally have served even, because you've got that traveler energy in the 11th house. You've got Mars in Scorpio. So this is the fighter, the defender, might even be security, whatever. But military type of energy, and the seeking and the searching kind of stuff. So it's quite intense and quite powerful, that midheaven you have. Really, really fascinating. But very independent stuff you got. Very independent. So yeah, for a person with the kind of energy you have, looking at your chart down the road and spending more time with it and learning more about it for yourself, you probably would pick up fast with it. All right, here we go. Let's get moving on. What time is it? 5:14. All right, so how many more names do we have here? And then we'll probably end because it's after 5 already. So what we'll do is whoever is the last name in here, that will be the last. The last name with digits will be the last one. All right. Let me see if I can catch up and see. I don't even know how far I am. All right. We have MNM, MM, NG, NQ, 3NL, MM. October 28th, 1987, 7:48. Are you here? These are speed readings. These are free readings. Got to have your full digits in there. Birth time, birth date, birth city, birth state for a reading. If you want me to spend more time on your chart, then you go ahead and you can send a gift to the channel. And if you don't have the means to do that, don't worry about it. I can't tell you how tired I am of saying that, but I feel like if I don't say it, people don't understand what the hell's going on. Okay. Is MM here? Let's go scroll down and see. Is MM here? All right. MM said I'm here. Very good. Okay, MM, let's get you in here. Have you seen your chart before? Let's get this drawn up. Oh, wrong date. October 28th, 1987. And we have 7:48 a.m. And we have Ithaca, New York. All righty. Ithaca. What the hell did I say? I'm just making shit up, apparently. All right. So here's the chart that we have here. Have you seen your chart? This one is showing. This is showing a Scorpio on the ascendant. You got a loaded 12th house. Mercury, the Sun, and Pluto in the 12th. Ooh. Intense. Strong. Unbelievably intuitive and psychic. Oh. Your moon, Capricorn at 18. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Well, I think that can help a little bit. 18, that's in the second house. Okay. Okay, so let me see. Did you say if this is you? Very familiar. Oh, good. Great, great, great. All right, so what we're looking at is Venus at 21 in Scorpio, Pluto, the Sun, and Mercury. Anytime you see the Scorpio energy, really intense stuff. So you're hidden. A lot of the intenseness about your nature, you may not be aware of it. Your Venus would be obvious because we can see it, right? She's on the other side here. She's above she's where we can see her, basically. Attachments is strong. Attachments possibly to appearance for self, desire, love, bonded energy. Very intense and powerful. So when a person has Scorpio on the rising, usually when people meet these people, there is an intensity about them. You can usually see it in the eyes. Scorpio people are usually going to have those deep, those eyes that are just like, you can see like lifetimes in those eyeballs, right? Yeah. But a lot of your Scorpio's hidden, right, in that subconscious realm. And that would be possibly trauma, vulnerabilities, and wounds. A lot of karmic energy here. Your Pluto in your 12th house is exalted. I mean, this is a great place. So this means that you will have information. You'll have access big time. I mean, your Mercury and your Sun are exact. Like you should be giving me a reading. You follow? I mean, there are some folks when I see, and many times people have stuff that seems so normal and natural because it's the way they've always been, that we might think that everybody gets information this way because it's like breathing. And it's not until we meet others and we realize, no, they don't have access to the same information you have access to. The trick is with Scorpio, with everybody's Scorpio energy, is the information we have access to doesn't mean it's information we are supposed to share. So a big part of Scorpio's journey is discernment about what to share and what not to share, what is appropriate, what is not appropriate, because it will have access in the 12th house to information it really has no business knowing. That's just the bottom line. This can pertain to siblings and coworkers, any forms of communication. This can have to do with authority figures. This can have to do with about the future and, prophecy, kind of getting information ahead of times and sleep and dreams, possibly because it's deep. It's in the 12th house of sleep. We might get visuals, visions. They might come across even like as moving pictures. Some people see visually and it's like, no, I see it in a whole movie. Okay, however you see it. That can be a possibility. Lightning bolt energy can happen for you too, since you have Aquarius energy in your 3rd house. You even have Juno at 23 degrees here. Astrology, group energy. Interesting. Very different. This is people with the Cappy and with the 3rd house with the Aquarius. Again, more rocket scientist energy. Their minds are they're like that. The neurons, the neurological system. This would be tricky as far as being anxious and maybe moments of anxiety, because the nerves constantly firing type of energy can be a thing. Okay. Even your Mars is in air too. Wow. Okay. All right. A moon in Cappy can be tricky. Anytime there's a mixture, Capricorn energy is heavy and very serious. And the moon is my emotions. And so we can be tied to the material tangible, literally physical objects. That's how I feel safe and secure. Physical objects, something that's old, rusty. You follow? I used to have a friend who passed, actually. I don't even know if it's been over 4 weeks now. But, oh my God, I think rust was his favorite thing in the world. Seriously. He was always looking for the most rustiest ass shit. And it was like, what is your obsession with rusty shit? And he just really, I just always am like, God, he's got to have a Capricorn moon. He's got to. They like old stuff. These are people who can possibly be even really good with antiques. Like they just have that eye. People who just have things that are laying around that they just keep with them because it's like a security blanket in a way. The other tricky part with the moon and Cappy is they can go through bouts of depression. Okay. The interesting thing is the extreme. There's an extreme swing here because you have Capricorn and Aquarius in your 3rd house. You have a taste of both. But your 3rd house cusp line has a serious degree, 22 degrees. So I don't have any doubt that you have moments where you have those extreme swings, because Uranus energy, although it's serious, it wants exciting and new, and it will not stand still. It'll just go and get it. It's not going to sit there and mull over it and be like, oh God, like it doesn't even know that it's sulking in its own stuff. It doesn't have time for that shit. It just gets and goes, it's unpredictable energy and very spontaneous and will move like a lightning bolt, which is how you can sometimes get information. I think I started but didn't finish there. So with that said, attachments in your Venus is kind of what's jumping back out at me again. It's really strong. And it could be attachment to self and self-appearance. So maybe your own wounds. This isn't me, let's be clear. This isn't a reading that's saying, oh my God, this person is so egotistical. They're so focused on their beauty and the makeup and what. No, it's not saying that. It's a Scorpio thing. So it's really meaningful and very deep. It is not surface at all. It is below the surface desires, below the surface, deeply meaningful stuff. And spirituality, there might be a tinge of that to this. The constant seeking and searching and having a deeper spiritual meaning to things. And if this is you, Saturn on the 2nd house cusp line, hard work, hard worker, limitations, possibly even maybe restrictions for travel, but maybe even working and traveling is part of my work. That can be part of this too. Health comes up here though, whether it's healthcare in an industry, by degree, health comes up in some way with this. So maybe health is your job. Like, how many of us go to our 9 to 5, but in reality, if people only knew, like, staying sane, being healthy is like my like it's an abundance of work. That truly is Saturn. But again, spiritual work, higher education, preachers, teachers. These people speak multiple languages. This can work with the law, the justice, the judicial system. These people can interpret the law. Very serious here. Something very serious. Okay. High responsibilities here. All right. So with all that said, I don't know if that works, if that makes sense for you, but I'll keep you in the system. If that's your chart, we'll put a save on there. And for anybody else's chart that I did so far, if I didn't save your stuff, I can't remember. I'm trying to move fast. I might have saved. If I didn't, then come back next time and just, we'll do it again. And then just remind me to save it. Like if you know it's your chart, that's why I don't save them sometimes, because there's mistakes and I don't want to save a wrong chart. Okay, let's move on. M has a question. How can I? Oh, you can give me an email. Yeah, it's going across the screen, allastrologee@gmail.com. Pay attention to the spelling. Do you only do live readings? No, I do private sessions. I've been doing private sessions for a while now. All right, next up. Is my email still across that screen? Well, look down below in the details. MM says, very familiar. I do. Each of our experiences are totally unique. Absolutely. Hello, would love a reading. On this comment, absolutely totally unique. But some people, it's like they were born to break every freaking mold they came into contact with. You follow? They were born to destroy every Rubik's. They were born to, they know. Like they know they are those people, they know who they are. And like that's how we make progress. Hello, would love a reading. Astrology, tech guy, metal detector, and talk to spirit. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Healthcare several times. Okay. Every day. Okay, so here we are. There was that other person. Did I miss somebody? Yeah, you were waiting. I'm sorry. I'm like, yeah, you, Shasha. Shasha, you're the one. Did I miss you? Did I skip over Shasha? Dorothy, I see you, Dorothy. I'm sorry if I didn't say hello. I'm trying to figure out what order I'm going in, but I think, oh Lord. I'm trying to figure out. Okay, so there was M and M. Who was after M and M? A person I see there, but they don't have their location, so we're scrolling past that one. Is Milan still here? Milan, Slovakia, you've got your digits and your location. If you're here, we'll do you next. And if you're not, what the hell? Can you say Iceman was a nice man for an edit? Is that like a joke? Oh my God. I didn't realize there were a few more charts here, Shasha. There was a few names ahead of yours, I think. Yeah, ahead of all your digits, there was a few names ahead of yours. Oh, Lord. Is Milan answering? Milan said, I'm here. Okay, Milan, you're up next. Oh my gosh. So let me get Milan's chart up in here. Let's do this real quick here. All right. Milan. So we're talking June 24th, 1986. Boy, common birth year so far coming in. You guys notice that? Like everybody's been like 86 or 87, I think. And we have 12:15 a.m. That Iceman thing just made me laugh. It was so like, what the hell? It was so random. All right. KOSICE. And Slovakia. Some of my ancestry is Slovakia. Woohoo. Let's get this on the screen. And I've never been out of the States. So it's just, I always find it very refreshing. I like it when people from all over the world. I already went and pressed save. I don't even know if this is you. This is showing a Pisces on the ascendant. Woo, with Jupiter right there. Pisces at 23 degrees on the ascendant. Another Capricorn moon, folks. Do you see this? This is like the third Capricorn moon today, isn't it? Maybe more. I don't know. Wow. Interesting. There's always these commonalities, you know. There just is. Galactic center at your midheaven. Holy shit. Has anybody ever told you about that? Probably an extreme need for recognition. It's the great Hoover in the sky. That's the black hole. It's on your midheaven. Interesting. Have you seen your chart before? Did you give me an answer? Let me go take a peek. Okay, so listen up. We are reading charts, and we do this a couple times a week. But yeah, we're past our cutoff time. But just you can always send your digits to the email or just come back again on another time and put the alert on so you know when we're live. You haven't seen your chart before. Okay, thank you for answering that. So this either sounds like you or it doesn't. If it's your chart, then it'll sound like you. Mars, a retrograding Mars in Capricorn in the 11th house. All right. So this can be a very focused, disciplined work towards goals and actions, long-term goals, building for the future. Almost, with the moon up there in Cappy 2, there's going to be a deep connection to emotional security and stability with building for the long term. But friends, maybe old friends, maybe literally friends that are older than you, but something connected to the past and something that's old. The older it is, the more emotionally stable and secure we kind of feel, whether we recognize it like in the physical or not, but with like ancestry and stuff and property. You know what I'm saying? And kind of that being like that security blanket. It could even refer to mom energy. However, with the Mars and the moon so close, and this being a retrograding Mars, let me see if it was out of bounds. Whoa, it was also a out of bounds Mars. Okay, so Are you like a freaking, this could be dad energy, but it can be somebody who was unbelievably erratic, independent. Even this is a hodgepodge. It's a mixture of, this person can be very disciplined, can be like a great worker, can be even a boss, but because it's out of bounds and it's in the 11th house of sporadic and different, there's something very unique about your goals, about your friends. There's something very authentic and original about what you're building for your long-term goals. Like there's something where you stand out, where your actions basically will speak for themselves and probably recognized and acknowledged too. What's fascinating is you have the Neptune in your 10th house of goal and career. So this can be fantasy and dream. This can be very artistic. This can be music and sound. But in Cappy, it grounds it a tad bit, right? It's, you know, Cappy is like, I'm building literally the sticks and the bricks energy. And I'm building for my long-term financial stability and security, which is a big deal to a Taurus in the second house. And it's even at 11 degrees here. So unconventional means of income. You even have chaos that's right here. So there's something chaotic there, right? Unbelievably unique, but this can be technology as well. And so can all of this. So maybe it has to do with tech in terms of, what is that? When people work for like online security kind of crap, whatever the hell that is, that can be a thing. Maybe traveling for that, maybe being able to do it remotely. But seriously, do you ever feel like there's that need and that recognition for, you know, doing a good job? Or do you have the wisdom? Do you feel like you have the wisdom where you don't seek that because you have Jupiter helping you here, where it might say, hey, you know, that's kind of on the petty side. It's one thing to be like, you know, don't thank me, pay me type of energy. But it may not expect, you know, I don't know, the grand, you know, award ceremony type thing, right? It's a little bit more just toned down. But Saggy energies usually go big or go home. You follow? It's quite grand in that way. Plus you have Uranus here too. So your work may require you to travel. You have partnerships here in the Sagittarius energy, which is really kind of another fascinating thing. This can all be very spiritual work, but it can also be working in healing institutions, higher educations, the justice, judicial system, and law, lawyer, judges energy. And I keep waiting. Every time I see someone with Saggy at the midheaven, I keep saying, this is like astronaut energy. Nobody ever tells me they're an astronaut or that they've ever traveled beyond our, oh, I forget the name of that thing. Yeah. But I keep waiting. I'm like, okay, one day. So Jupiter in the 12th house, hidden dreams and fantasy. Jupiter is wisdom. So it can be hidden wisdom. Again, connecting in with the wisdom in your dreams is probably going to be how it comes best. Or if you're creating, whenever you're in a creative mode, it'll come through strongly. People who have a lot of water in the water houses, and then you even have air, they can take their dreams to another level because they can put words to them. There's great ideas. 11th house and your 12th, great ideas, high intellect, right? Like I can put it in the material and the tangible. I don't just have it stuck here. I can make it appear. So this is powerful. And here's the other piece that's huge in your chart. Your goals, your long-term goal, your independence and your freedom is an exact trine to the midheaven. So there is something quite freeing and freedom-loving, leadership qualities, go it alone qualities. Communication is strong, very strong. But this might be a tricky thing with communication. Do you have trouble, especially when it comes to something that you know is, whether it has to do with your emotions or family, feminine energy, someone that's close to you, even siblings? There's a big T-square that comes up, and that just creates stress and tension within my own freedoms and significant one-on-one relationships. You might find there are times where there's a little bit of a battle there in terms of clear communication or whatnot, a tug of war between, what I want to do and what we want to do type of energy. That could be for anybody. I get it. But this is in the placement of children and romantic partnerships and creative communications. This may come about, though, in terms of expressing creatively through dance and movement, even because the fifth house wants to express. And with a little bit of Leo there, it uses its body to express. And you have Venus right there tucked in your fifth house. And she's all about desires and being creative and it being beautiful. And the lion says, I'm going to be colorful. So I kind of like that for you. That's beautiful. Okay, so just so that we're clear, we have gone past my cutoff time for doing readings. So right now we're only taking readings. I'm only finishing up the list of names that was already present, that had already been waiting. And so we'll be back again. Get your digits to me, or you can send the digits to email. And I don't know if its email is still on the screen. Let me get it there just in case. I tried to, no, I didn't have it up there. Well, that was silly of me, huh? I'm telling people just to send it to me. Well, there's the spelling of the email, okay? That way, if you get your digits, then I could put them in the system, and then here the next time you arrive, everything goes faster then. You follow? And trust me, I won't be emailing you. I think people feel like, oh God, then they're going to spam me, and I don't have time for that shit. And I don't pay for a service to do it, so you don't got to worry about that. All right, so we're all done with that one. And let me see who was after Milan. Again, we are just finishing up. These are speed readings. These are free readings. And I think we're just about wrapping this up. Okay, so Milan is there. And then the next name after Milan, let me see if this person is still here. Sage Warrior, I see you got your name back in, and I have a birth location. Are you still here? Sage Warrior 369. Is Sage Warrior here? Let me see if I can pin this. Okay. That'll be better. That way I can click this on the screen. Sage, are you still here? Yeah, I'm going like way over time, huh? I am. All right, going once, going twice. Sage Warrior might be not here any longer, which would be fine. Then we will move on to the next one, which would put... Okay, have a good night, DKR. I have a big question to ask. Consciousness, middle energy. Oh, that sounds serious. All right, we're moving. So since I'm not hearing from Sage Warrior, okay, we're going to move on. I think we got a couple of names left, and then that's it. News Girl, how you doing, News Girl? Wow. So that's actually who would be next. News Girl, are you here? Natasha. Miami, Florida. Are you still here? And then after Natasha, the last one would be the person who's been waiting since forever, Shasha. Oh, I know Dorfina's journey. We'll have to get you next time. Oh, August 12th. That's soon. All right. Well, we'll try to get another live up. Well, we will be getting another live up anyway, because Saturday there's a class. So I will definitely have another live stream to make sure that we can kind of get to these other folks. Is News Girl here? Okay, I don't see News Girl answering back. So Shasha, when we'll meet permanent. Shasha's like, I know I'm getting a reading, damn it. Oh, Gigi said, my husband. Look at that. Gigi gave us a thing. And I'm sorry. Sometimes because I'm searching for who's next. Milan is my husband. Yes, he does need that recognition and wants to be a hero. You know what? Saggy energy, they are so generous. They're so giving. And I could totally see that. And when they do the shit they do, they go big, don't they? They go big. I had a Saggy friend. I mean, still a friend and still alive. Just haven't been able to see them in a long time. And oh my God, they went above and beyond for me. And it was at a time when I, really needed, I just didn't realize how much help I needed at that time. And boy, they were like an angel out of the middle of nowhere. It was like, holy shit. And when they show up and do stuff, it's like you just never forget it, because they show up in a way that is just amazing. Because they go big or they go home. They're literally like earth angels that just step in and handle something that is huge, that's huge. All right, so I'm babbling. Let me get on. We're getting on with you. I think you're next, right? That was right. Let me double check. But I believe, because I'm going through the names and nobody else answered. All right, Shasha, you are next. Let me get your chart drawn in. So we are done taking digits for the evening. So maybe I should put something down below. How about this? I'll put Q is closed. Never thought of that. Is it in the comments? It didn't even show up. What the hell? Oh, there it is. I'm like, okay, so I can't even comment to my own shit. All right, let's get your chart drawn up. You were waiting, and you did great having all your digits there. April 13th, 1996. Oh, a 1990 person. Nice change. Okay. (8:30 a.m.) And we are looking at these Indian words. They are always tripping me up with these big, long. All right. So have you seen a Western chart for you? All right. This is showing Gemini on the rising. Ooh, Aquarius moon. Okay. Have you seen any chart for you, for your digits? Ooh, oh my God. 23 degrees Aquarius moon, 23 degrees Aries sun. Huh. This is why I love looking at charts from people who are born on the other side of the world. Because I get to see configurations and things that I just don't get to see otherwise. All right, so this chart's showing your midheaven, your goals, what you're working towards, your future. Technology, likely prominent. Astrology, something different. Social services, social systems, global systems is big in terms of career energy. Group energy, unconventional, different, science, space. That's what this chart's showing at the top here. Let me see if I should, let me get rid of this. This might, there we go. How about that? So yeah, that's all this stuff here. There's that 23 degrees moon. There's Uranus in Aquarius. Holy shit, really strong placement. And this is your career, your goal. Healthcare might be a thing in some shape, something different though, because it's got it by the degree, but it's Aquarius energy. So it could even just simply be with the group energy. This many times is like senior citizens and stuff like that. All right, I just had to move that foot up off the floor. This is showing did you ask about, what did you ask about? Did you ask about job? Oh, man. Permanent partner. That's what I thought. So here's the thing. In this chart, it's showing love, your love language, love energies in your 12th house, which would mean foreign, across the pond, right? It's also as your income, your money, your love, your values, that it's far away from you, that it's hidden, that it's unseen. Do you communicate with people who live in a different country, who are far away? Do you get along with those types of people better? This is really Pluto and Saggy. Talk about a truth seeker. Holy shit. Wow. So again, more transformational, possibly healing work. Travel might be involved. And 2 degrees, that trines your Saturn, I think. Let me see what your degree is, your Saturn at 0. Wow. Okay, that's leadership, boss energy. So let me see some other stuff here. Even your Venus is hidden. Your Taurus is hidden, and so is your Venus. Hidden communications, communicating online, digital. But your moon, Aquarius and the moon, emotional security. This can be a little frazzled, like the nerves, the nervous system. These are people who are extremely independent. They need different and unconventional. These are the people who are the inventors, right? So anything with tech, anything that isn't invented yet, basically, is emotionally satisfying for you. So this can also speak to your mom type of energy. But in this chart, this is in the placement of career. So this is boss energy. Nobody is the boss of me, damn it. And you have a mixture of mom and dad energy mixed up here. Again, this can be science. Yeah, public recognition. A need for public recognition with the moon in the 10th house, if this is the right chart. Social status and career. Maybe you are prominent in your field. Maybe maybe you do work with the public in some way. The moon can be the public as well. Authenticity is going to be really big with that Aquarius energy if that's you up there. But you have Uranus and Neptune in the placement of travel and of higher education and of law. And that is also the placement of my philosophy on life. So human rights would be a big deal for Aquarius in the 9th house. So yeah, having your moon in an air sign, ideas, talking, communication, learning, writing, teaching, these are things, these are people who love to learn for sure with the moon in Aquarius. Does any of this sound like you? Because if not, then maybe yeah. But that moon alone should tell you a lot. And the stuff about the love being hidden. See, I know you want me to tell you when is my permanent partner coming. But if the basic chart that I'm looking at, if you can't confirm that this matches who I'm saying, the things that I'm saying, if it doesn't match, then it's like, then it doesn't make sense. So I'm not really seeing any, I'm going to flip back over and see if there's any response at all in the queue as far as any information. Does this sound like you? No, not really. You're not saying anything. Or maybe you're saying, no, this doesn't sound like me. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Jupiter in the 8th house means I have wounds with authority figures, possibly, and long-term goals. Now, if this is you, maybe you're just private and you don't want to talk about it, that's fine too. Chiron's going to be going through Taurus. I mean, it's there right now. It's backing out. It's going to be going back in. It brings up a wound about love, a wound about my values, a wound about money and desires, my addictions, right? So there can be an event that occurs because you will have Chiron squaring Uranus energy. And this is located in your 9th house. And that speaks to the future and possibilities and what could be. But I see you have Pluto sitting right on your Uranus right now. You see that? Yeah. So that's a change. A change in your thoughts, a change in your ideas, a change in the way that you communicate, a change in what you think about your future in terms of friends and friendship and group energy. All this Aquarius stuff, group energy, friends. Moon in Aquarius, friends are going to be important. Maybe it's just online friends, maybe it's both, but being part of a group. And that would be probably the biggest, best way to connect with someone for the long term. But I think it's going to be a minute because you're going to have to deal with, if this is your chart, you're going to have to deal with the hidden desires of Taurus in the 12th house. Meaning, even if you get in a relationship with somebody, if you're not aware of what your hidden energy is in the 12th, if you're not aware of your subconscious desires, your subconscious addictions, your subconscious, cravings, that can make life really tricky. And having Chiron at the opposite of your Pallas Athena, bonded energy, deeply bonded energy, dating, mating, relating. I think if anything, what will happen is you have to wait until next year when Chiron comes back to the 2 degrees in Taurus. Because see, it's retrograding. So it goes, it's going to take some time. It takes until 2027. And I think it's halfway through the year. May, June. We'll say May. So maybe a little bit before then. But that's when the Chiron will connect with that 12th house energy of yours. And it connects with the Pallas Athena and Scorpio energy. Okay. And because your Venus is hidden in the 12th, that's why I'm saying I think it's going to take the activation. And you'll have the Sun in Taurus, Mercury in Taurus. So, You'll have some support, and you'll have Jupiter in Leo connecting to the 4th house cusp line. So a familiarity will kick in there. Someone who feels like family, and someone who might even be closer to long-term energy, more serious, more Capricorn type of vibration. That's what you want, because you've got Cappy in the 8th house of bonded energy. So unfortunately, it's never a quick thing when we're looking for the long-term stuff. There's usually a lot of self-work that has to be done, a lot of diving into who we are, into our own subconscious, into our own vulnerabilities, our own wounds, our own issues, our own battles of self-worth, and just, yeah, all that stuff. Okay. All right. So no response. I don't know if you left, but I hope this has helped. And these are all free readings. These are all speed readings. Anybody who sends a gift to the channel can have a longer time spent on their chart. And if you can't afford to do that, don't worry about it. You get a speed reading. All right. So with that said, we are at the end. Come back next time and we'll try to do this again. Sometime this week, put your alert on so you can be notified when we're live. And we'll start all over again. All right. So hope this has helped. And everybody out there, take care and stay safe. Have a good one. Bye-bye.